it is time to fix my hair. Okay, now I have a black shirt on so that nothing will be stained. Next I need to put on my contacts because I obviously can't dye my hair wearing glasses, and without my glasses I can't see anything, so I will be right back. Okay, I'm gonna start by brushing my hair. So basically I've had this like pink blonde situation going on for some time now, but yeah, now it kind of looks purple as it's worn out, and I don't like that, and I want it to be pink. So I'm gonna be dyeing the pink parts with like a darker pink, and then I'm like thinking if I want to use this lighter pink mask for the parts that are blonde. Would that be like crazy? Would that be kind of wacky? Or do I just keep them blonde? I don't know, but I'll start with these. I had such a long like root growth the last time I went to the salon. They obviously had to like bleach like at least this far down my hair, but you have to fight the brassness with purple. So I think that's also why even the pink parts came out looking kind of purple. So now what I need to do is start by separating the pink and the blonde. I think it's appropriate, the very least, to give some kind of life update, as I haven't really posted in a while. I don't think anyone actually cares, but just in case someone cares, I will give like a little update as to what I've been doing recently, where my life is headed at the moment, and all that kind of stuff. I'll quickly separate the hair first, and then we can get to some proper yapping.
15 minutes later.
That literally took forever. Anyway, it's done now, I think. Oh yeah, by the way, I should probably have some kind of intro. I still don't have like a regular one. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Either welcome back, or if you're new, welcome still. My name is Susanna, and this is my channel. I haven't posted in like forever, so I'm gonna get to dyeing my hair, and let's do a little catch up. For the darker parts, I'm using the rest of this Manic Panic pink dye, and I'm mixing it with just conditioner. I'll think about the pink mask later. Always remember to wear gloves when dyeing your hair. My mixing bowl is covered in dust, so maybe I'll give that a little wipe first. But yeah, a little life update. So first of all, I finally graduated. Oh my god, it truly does feel like it's been forever. If you don't know, I started my literature degree in 2018 when I graduated high school. So I went straight from high school to uni. And why I chose to go study literature is because I had an amazing literature teacher in high school. Reading and analyzing became like my favorite thing ever. And I was like, this is, if I could like just do this, like study this, that would be amazing. Why did I scoop it out of here? Why didn't I just put the conditioner in here? Well, now it's in the mixing bowl, so it's too late to think about that. I remember like at the very beginning of 2018, we had like a few lessons where it was basically just, what is studying literature? Okay, you've come to study literature. What are like some career paths where you can go? And I have like such a vivid memory. I remember what class it was, which classroom, and I just have this like vivid memory of sitting there, looking at the board, looking at the career options, and just thinking like, I don't want to do any of these things. That's definitely something that I would recommend to everyone who is applying for uni or college or anything. It's important to think about what the studies will be, but like, especially if you're applying to something that doesn't lead to like a clear career path. So let's say you're not studying to be a doctor. Once you graduate, you'll be a doctor. I remember sitting in that class and being like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm not interested in doing any of these things. And then I was like, okay, well, then I clearly need to do something else. Obviously, I had just turned 19 in 2018. And looking back, I was really young. I felt like I was really lost. In 2019, I started teaching kids dance classes. And when I say kids, I literally mean like very little children. I would say probably 3 to 9 was like the main range that I was teaching. I immediately loved it. I loved it so much. Just like being with the small children. Like sure, it can be quite rough, especially since you're like in charge of them and you're all by yourself, and 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds are still very, very small. But still, I found it to be like very fun and rewarding. So in 2019, I was like, maybe I should be a kindergarten teacher. And I applied. I think this was actually 2020 because I started teaching kids in 2019, yeah. And then I applied in 2020 to study being a kindergarten teacher. And I got really good points from the test in every single area except how committed you are to completing your studies. Understandably, didn't get very high scores from that because they were like, well, you're doing another degree. And when the results came, I was in the 3rd reserve spot. So if 3 people like gave up their spots, I would have gone in. From the 3rd reserve spot, I got to the 1st, so I did not get in. And at that point, I was kind of like, okay, well, I've now applied to this literature thing in 2018 and it's now 2020 and I've applied to study something else in both of these years. Like maybe I'll just focus on getting this degree done. And basically that's what I did. I didn't apply after that year anymore, but I did not have any hurries to finish my degree because I already knew that I wasn't going to do anything with it. Oh my god, my nose is so itchy. Fast forward to this year, spring 2026, I'm graduating, which is just crazy stuff. Okay, beautiful. We are stuck. We have a bit of a pickle. But yeah, anyway, I have finished my master's thesis. I've sent it in. What do I do after graduation? I have no job, no qualification. What do I do? I still want to be a kindergarten teacher. And guess what? They can't tell me that I'm not committed because I have another degree going on because I've graduated. So I'm like, perfect. I'll apply again. And that is exactly what I did. I applied to be a kindergarten teacher. I actually didn't need to go to the first stage of the entrance exam because my high school diploma was enough to get straight to the interview, was like the second part that everyone has to do. I went to the interview and it went horribly. Like the first time I applied, because it was COVID, it was one 15-minute interview. From what I remember, now I could obviously be wrong, but from what I remember, it was quite a lot like a job interview where they kind of asked you more of like these questions as to like, why would you wanna like be there and stuff like that. And obviously questions about like commitment and stuff, which were also the same this time. This time it was 3 5-minute interviews, which obviously when it was like done in like Teams or Zoom or whatever, they couldn't have done that. Like it would have been impossible to do that for like 400 candidates. I obviously assumed it would be kind of similar to what it had been during COVID, but it was not, and I was completely thrown off. And yeah, I just came out of it feeling like super confused, super feeling like I had just like completely like missed my chances to get in, because I feel like there was one question that I feel like I answered well. And everything else I feel like I just completely butchered. But turns out I got in, which was crazy because I felt like it went absolutely horribly. I had already started to like redo my CV because I was like, well, I'm not gonna get in, so I obviously have to get a job for next year since I'm not a student anymore and I won't be able to get in. But I did. I'm gonna be a kindergarten teacher. I'm starting my studies this fall in September. I'm super excited. I'm so excited about it. Like I can't even describe how excited I am. I know that I want to work as a kindergarten teacher, even though it's rough, even though it can be quite tiring, but I really have like loved it. Not just do it as like a substitute, but like actually have the knowledge and the know-how behind like the teaching. Like I do consider myself good with kids, but I think it'll be very rewarding to like be able to do the job with the actual like knowledge behind it and not just like I'm good with kids sort of vibe, which is obviously important, but like I think you guys know what I mean. What else? Oh yeah, in another big change that happened, or I guess I kind of could have mentioned this earlier, I quit my current job. I resigned. There was multiple reasons. I'm not gonna get into it a lot, but the main reason was because I felt like I couldn't do the job and the master's thesis at the same time, and I knew that I had to graduate, and I just felt like trying to do those two things at the same time wasn't going to be possible. And the second reason was that there were going to be some changes to my role that I didn't really like vibe with, and I felt like the role would not have been, or like the job would not have been anymore the thing that I signed up to do, or like that I applied to do. Yeah, there were some changes that I was just not vibing with. So then I was like, okay, well it's better to resign now than like try to continue to do the job and the masters at the same time, when also there's like changes that I'm not a fan of. It was very hard because I really loved that job, and I think I was very good at that job, and I feel like that's probably one of the most tough decisions that I have done in my life, but I am so glad I did it because I think it's one of the best decisions that I have made, because I was able to get the masters done and focus on everything else without having the work to be like a constant stress in the background. So I have been jobless, unemployed. The last time was 12 years ago, and I understand that that's like, well, duh, like people obviously work for like 40 years and they don't have like summers off, but I still think it's like kind of crazy. I did start working a proper summer job. What is the cat doing?
A few moments later.
Never mind, it wasn't the cat, it was the post. Yeah, so I did start working for the whole summer quite young. Oh my god, where's this thing stuck? Stop. It's been like extremely refreshing to have like an actual summer off. I think it'll give me kind of this like new energy to go to my new studies. And obviously I have to acknowledge that the fact that I have savings enough that I was able to quit my job and live from my savings, or like know that I can live from my savings for the summer, is extremely privileged. The spring was quite tiring, both physically and mentally. Mostly mentally, because I was obviously finishing up the master's thesis. And yeah, so that's basically my life now. I've graduated with my master's degree. My official title is, I have a master's of philosophy. I think it's what the most of the like the general name, but that's what it is. Now I've just been hanging, relaxing, doing stuff like dyeing my hair. I've been filming a lot of DIY videos, and another fun, I hope it'll be fun. Oh my god, let's see if it'll be any fun. But I ordered gel nail stuff. So that's another hobby I've always wanted to try. And now I pulled the trigger, I ordered the stuff. I think it can count as like my graduation gift for myself, because it was quite expensive. So I think I'll maybe try filming that once they get here. Let's see if it's like really super embarrassing, that I won't, but I won't post it, but I'll at least try filming it. So that could be like a fun video to look forward to. And yeah, I have a lot of DIY things coming up. I feel like this part is just normal hair, which I shouldn't be dyeing, but it is what it is. And this is what you get when you don't want to go to the salon. Yeah, I'll definitely like still be making content from now on, and I hope I can be more consistent with it. And I'm just really like looking forward to what my life is gonna be like. I feel like I'm 18 again and entering like a new chapter in my life. But this time I have a fully developed frontal lobe, which honestly is quite nice. This is like another thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently. I don't feel very old, or I don't feel old basically at all, except when I need to repair my broken knee. That's when I feel old, and when there's internet slang that I don't know. But otherwise, I don't exactly feel old. But what I will say is that I do feel like in the past, let's say 2 years, I have like matured a lot, especially after quitting my job, because I feel like it was such a difficult decision to do, and it quite honestly like shaped way that I was like viewing myself. It gave me like this feeling of autonomy that I haven't felt in like a long time. During the last year, I have been like finding myself a lot in a way that like you could say that I have matured, or like that I don't feel so much like a child anymore. Before, I feel like I used to be just like, oh, I don't feel old, so I'm not old. But now I just feel more like sure of myself and mature in like a good way. Let me know if you've ever felt this way, or if you don't feel that way, or if you even know what I'm talking about, or if you can relate, or tell me if you can't relate. Anyways, I think I'll dye these front pieces too, because I'm just crazy and wacky like that. I don't have a lot of dye left. This is a little bit of a risk, but hey, high risk, high reward. Isn't that what they say? And I also feel like once I wash this, it'll really like bleed into the blonde parts. So maybe that way I don't have to dye the blonde. Maybe it'll just like dye by itself. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I have started dressing more gal when I go out. And what is gal? Well, it is basically Yaro. If you don't know what it is, there's a lot of videos that tell you what it is. I'm not gonna get too much into it here, but it's a Japanese like style of dressing up and expressing yourself. And I've really loved dressing and expressing myself as gal. Expressing myself in gal has felt really good and really like empowering, because for a long time I've been trying to find like my style, like what is me, and stuff like coquette hasn't just felt like quite right, because I obviously love pink. I mean, hello, look at my hair. I love pink and stuff like that, but like the coquette just doesn't feel, it's very like cutesy, but for me it's just like missing that little like umph. Like where's the umph?
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
I just need it.
This is the lamb
Where's the lamb sauce?
Right here, chef. I
Lamb
have it.
sauce is coming up.
And I think what gal has is that umph, and like that, those like Y2K elements that give it like some attitude. I will definitely be making more gal content in the future. I'll especially try making it more on my Instagram. So if you're interested in gal, or you want to give a baby gal some tips, I'm all down to receive them. Okay, I think this is the vibe. Honestly, this is probably not the vibe. Like, what is this? This hasn't even been colored. What the hell? But I'm out of dye. I have some like sad amount left. I don't know. Will it look blotchy as hell? Yes. Am I willing to pay 300 euros for something that I'm not completely happy with anymore? Nah. So this is the happy medium we get. Why is this as well completely undyed? Come on. I'm literally scraping at the bottom. I don't think anything's gonna come out, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Okay, that was a little chat. That was fun. I'll see you still for the whatever comes out of this. I'm slightly scared. See ya soon.
A little later.
Here's what the hair is looking like now that I've dried it. Yeah, as I guessed, these front parts where the dye was running out, they did come out really kind of light. But honestly, I don't mind it that much. I think it looks good. I like that it's a lot more like pinkish now. I'll give you an updated hair look. I was gonna say hair tour, but that's not anything that exists, is it? I'll give you a hair update once I have it all like nicely done. I will show you tomorrow the final hair. Here's what it looks like a couple of days later, now that I've straightened it and stuff. And I'm really happy with it. Also, if you watched this far, thank you so much. Hoping you enjoyed this video. It was nice to have a little catch up after being gone for so long. And I can't wait to get back to content creation and just, you know, having fun with making videos and stuff. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!